without much further ado, let's jump into introducing Jyoti here. As you can see from what we have up on screen, it's extremely versatile and accomplished person. We're very glad to have you here with us on our very first webinar with you, Jyoti. Jyoti is also the copy and content writer for the Shopmatic blogs that you see and you read and you benefit from. So she has a very deep and insightful understanding of business owners, especially individual entrepreneurs and small business owners, and the kind of challenges that they're possibly facing as they are trying to build a business and understand online e-commerce and sort of find success in this particular space. She is a nonfiction writer. She also has a couple of books to her credit on some, and correct me where I'm going wrong, Jyoti, on monuments here in Singapore, on Fort Canning, etc., if I recollect correctly. And apart from her writing sort of skills that she brings to forth to guide businesses to be successful, she's also a trained yoga professional. She runs her own sort of like training program in yoga to guide business owners, also to find the balance between the whole material and the other world to just find the balance. Yeah, okay. All right, great. Okay, excellent. So like I said, Jyoti is extremely accomplished, and it's going to probably take us a little while to really go through all of the things, wonderful things she can do. But today she's actually here to share with us her insights and inputs on how to write compelling copy that sells for you, because copy and content is actually extremely important on the window dressing that your visitors are landing on, and how can you use that particular space to really make your visitors compelled enough to make the purchase and build that relationship with you is important. So I will not take much more time here. Jyoti, I'd request you to please share your screen and start the webinar for us, please.
Thank you, Uma. Thank you for the very kind introduction. Just give me a moment to share my screen.
For our participants, I just request you to raise your question and answers. If you have any questions for Jyoti along the way, please put them into the Q&A, and she'll be happy to take those as we are doing the presentation itself. Or if anything is missed during the presentation, we'll certainly make sure that we're going through everyone's Q&A at the end.
Just a second, I'm on the screen. I'm going to go on presentation mode.
Fantastic, we can see that, yeah.
Can you see that? Yeah. Just help me a little around here, Uma. I don't know if I'm sharing it in the right view.
Yes, we can see your full screen, and then we have you as a thumbnail on the video on the top right-hand corner. So this is okay. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. So the topic, as you know, is write compelling copy that sells for you. And the idea here is that when you have an online store, a digital space, you don't really have the opportunity of, welcoming people that enter your store and saying, hello, please come in. What can I help you with? Can I show you something around? Everything every way that you connect with with the people that enter your store, with your customers, whether potential or actual, is through your copy and through your images. So this is how we learn. We're going to learn today how to use the power of words to sell online effectively. And I just have, Uma, one last help from you. I'm going to open my notes. I don't know if I'm sharing on. Is this the?
Yes, we can see your notes right now.
Yeah. I'm trying to find
a way to hide it.
Yeah, because I want to just not take away from these. Let me stop share and share again. Is that
okay? Sure, no problem at all.
I remember in our I got a prompt to sell it to share it as a presenter, but I don't get that prompt just now.
At this point in time. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I'll have to do with just this. It's going to block.
Just try again. It's just see.
Try in. How do you recommend I try this?
When you are sharing, when you're going to present, can you see the present on top? There is a
Yes.
triangle
Yes.
at the right. No, don't click on that. Click on the right next to it. Just come off presentation mode, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you might find your solution on the little triangle next to it, next to that's present, next to it, on the right. Yes, there. You might find some present from the beginning, present to view. Can you try that?
Okay, let me try that. Is that
Okay.
still?
Yeah, we can still see your notes, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I will have to do without it because
okay, I'm
I
sure
don't want. No,
you'll be
it's fine. I
ad-libbing
just
through
don't
it.
want
Yeah.
to. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just didn't
Unfortunately,
want.
it's hiding your screen, so your
Yeah,
slides. So we
that's
can't
what
see.
I didn't want to do. Well, okay, so I'm going to just present.
All right, let's get started, Jyoti.
Yeah. All right. So here we are, learning how to write compelling copy that sells for you. And like we started, remember everything on your digital store is through words and images. So that's what those are what you use as your salesperson, so to speak. And to make them powerful, it's important to understand what they can do for you. And today we're going to go through the understanding of how you present. These are the 5 important learnings that we will go through, and in all of these, I want you to know that how you handle your copy, your pages like a pro, how you write awesome product descriptions, avoiding mistakes, website content, and in fact, a very important cheat sheet that you get. All of these are important for you to set up a really compelling website and talk to your customer, make an effort to reach out to them and explain and engage with them. But the most important learning, in spite of all of this, the most important learning still comes from within, and I will explain what I mean by this. So let's just go back to the previous slide. We're going to keep an eye open for as we go along. I will be repeating ideas and concepts for you, and I will be using throughout this webinar examples from my own website. I'm a services provider on Shopmatic. I've set up my website on Shopmatic as well, and I notice some of you are also selling products, so we will talk of some product examples, and you can try and understand the underlying principle for all of that is actually the same. We do avoid the same common writing mistakes. We do use powerful language to describe products. If you're a service, your product is obviously, in my case, for example, selling yoga and content, and in your case could be jewelry and, like you said, table linen, locks, or whatever you're selling, that the underlying principles will be the same. So we will go through the website. A lot of it will be going through my own website as an example, and hopefully you can go back with some valuable information. The last point, the fifth, use a cheat sheet with words that actually persuade. That one is an interesting one because that there are some words, and I will share that with you as well in the end. There are some words that actually engage more than others with your customers, and if you can find ways to weave them into your copy, it's like supercharging what you're trying to do. So let's get started with this. Like I said, the most important learning of all lies within, and what that really means is this. First, I would like you to read this quote. Is it visible to everybody, Uma? Is my
Yes.
little
Yes.
thumbnail blocking? Okay.
No.
Okay. So this is something I believe in, and I realized over time, over a decade of practicing and expressing, that you need to have clarity of thought, and that clarity of thought is what translates into clarity of expression. And that clarity of expression and thought is something that you develop for yourself. And as an entrepreneur, very often there are, we might feel a little unsure of ourselves. You might have doubt, self-doubt. You might have a time when you don't know whether you're doing the right thing or not. And you might also have to celebrate little successes, big gains, whatever it is, there is a balance, there is an understanding of that journey that is intimate to you. And that I found is the biggest learning actually in how to express well, have a clear thought, clear clarity of thought, and which leads to clarity of expression. And in my case, this is when I was able to, the launch of the book went well, the one that Uma was referencing just now, and also when I learned to do the bakasan. So this to me, to me these are highlights that I continue to celebrate small successes through, and that comes from more than any other business conference. To me, holistic yoga and expression. And so, which brings me to introducing myself. I am a writer and a yoga teacher. And while it might seem like two disjointed, um, areas, I find that, like I explained, that bringing these together and able to express this on my website actually brought my whole idea together. And you will see as we go along that how, daily practices and how engaging content and how clarity of thought has brought about the website I'm talking about, or how you can express varied products, and how you can express for the benefit of your consumer, through your words. But before everything, as everybody says, it all actually starts just with your customer. And you really have to understand, who are these people. While you set up a business, whether you have set it up already or you're planning to set it up, you have in mind a certain target audience, and you're setting it up, with those target audience in mind. But do remember that there are ideas and preconceived notions, or or something you feel you know about them intuitively, and that may or may not be right. So you must continue to have direct chats with the people you are targeting. You must analyze, use analytics, get to know your customer really very, very well. And the three main ways that you can do that is have chats with them, use your analytics on the dashboard. Shopmatic has a dashboard as well, or you can use Google Analytics that they connect with your dashboard. Use your WhatsApp and the Facebook Messenger abilities that they have on the platform, and use all of that and survey to find out who your customers really are. You might be surprised. You might be surprised at the little differences that show up, because and when you understand your customer better, you can actually address that customer directly. And then the next thing to remember is there are always going to be some standard rules for all your store pages. These are things that you keep in the back of your mind no matter what you're writing. And that the one of the biggest things is always show how how your business will actually benefit the customer. It's not about what you can do. Of course you can do, like in my case, okay, I could do the bakasan, but just saying I can do that doesn't mean I can help somebody in life or help someone express better. So so the important thing would be to show how your business will benefit the customer, and we will come to that example in just a bit. But remember this is something that we will repeat as a theme throughout this presentation in different aspects, during your About Us page, during your landing home page, during your product descriptions. So this is something that is a theme, but equally remember it is something that's hard to do. Very often it's a balance. You want to use words that are powerful and emotive, but we might land up using a lot of fluff, too much emotion, or we might land up just about benefits, or not really, forgetting the feature. It is a balance. So we will come through examples. Remember to always talk about benefit, engage, and weave the features in as benefits for your consumer. Have a call to action always. These are buttons that say buy now, or learn more. Those little buttons that are colored in a different way and come up on your website. Those are call to action buttons. Use them because they engage, they call, they invite, and that's why they're called call to action. They say sort of instill the urge in a reader to click on them and do something. So decide what you want them to do and use those call to action buttons. That helps your website become a little more engaging. Of course, make contacting you very, very easy. This is another one that people forget, because if you're going to be hidden, contact me hidden after click, it's it's going to be a little difficult, or you might not find people have the patience to reach you. So be right there. Be right there and speak to them. This is how you reach me. Find it. In fact, reach out in various ways. Use your social handles, social media handles, use your, have those little icons, the buttons, have an email ID. If you want them to share your phone numbers, feel free to whatever way you are thinking that, whatever way works for you, but make it easy for them to reach you. And then keep your navigation simple and intuitive, so not avoid having too many clicks under clicks under clicks that don't make sense. So clear your thought first, clear your idea first, and then have a simple plan that makes it easy for people to understand and find you. This is my website that we talked about. Now, like I said, there is yoga and narrative to speak of, content writing and yoga. So here, if you read, I'm trying to blend the two, match the two. And I'll just give you a minute to read the paragraph. Is there a pointer here? Yeah. Yeah, just if you could spend a minute just reading to become a magnet that attracts clients. And this is what I'm oops, this is what I have been planning to wait, let me go back to slide 8. Yeah. This is what I'm trying to put together, and this is what attracts people, because I'm targeting entrepreneurs. So for an entrepreneur, of course, there are personal struggles. There are self-defeating thoughts. You need to express well. And if I say, you know what, I'm a great content writer, I have books published, and I can do the Bakasan, it doesn't help. It doesn't help, because I need to understand the empathy. I need to express through my writing that I understand what you're looking for, and here is some solutions. So similarly for products, similarly for services, it's the same. The underlying principle will always be the same. Look at it from the customer's point. All right, you do all this, so what? So what? So keep answering this question, so what and so what, to arrive at better content, better writing for your own website. And in your home page, you must have, like we said, focus on the visitor benefits. You must establish keywords. Again, find ways of contacting you, all the ways. And what are your top selling products? Use, if you have, social proof and announcement bar. All of these sound like it's a lot, but we'll go back to my page and see using all of these has still been possible in that simple space. So look here. Here is the announcement bar and how to contact. These are the words that I want to be known for. I want to be known for as a content writing service. I want you to join me for yoga with meditation, and I want you to be convinced about what I can do for you. So here it is, and these are the call to action buttons. So just keeping these simple rules in mind helps you create content which is actually directed to your client, and that will be helpful for you as a merchant. So a way to do this, of course, if they feel they're really understood, it's good. And so I'm laughing at my own little joke I have on the side. So, but a way to do this would be write out some really good, compelling lines and then start to use them as headers and taglines and subheaders. So to write those compelling lines, again, think of the same thing. Think about what is it that your customers' problems is. So since I target entrepreneurs, what are their problems? What are their actual problems? I'm thinking about that. And how does my service or your product, whatever you're doing, how does it offer a really genuine solution? It's not words and not something that they want to hear or you've heard in the market. It's about what you are doing and what you can offer to them. Think about it. and write it down. It doesn't matter how many lines you write, because those are what you can repurpose and use as content for your own website. And how does it help them meet their goals? Do they want to become, do they want to shine at their wedding, and therefore you're offering wedding jewelry? Do they want to be more confident and successful as entrepreneurs, and therefore someone like me is offering content services and yoga with meditation? Whatever it is, think about it, write it down, and see how it helps them meet their goals. And those will be your compelling lines. Use them as headers, taglines, and subheaders. And that's when people, your customer feels you are really understanding them. A little down the line, I will share with you another little secret. It's a copywriting secret of finding out how to find out what your customers are really struggling with. So, like a very important one, I had to put this in red here. Please avoid putting together vague sentences. Sometimes it seems really nice to say, this is a shining piece, your sentiments run through this piece of diamond, and it's a lot of language. And of course, your passion is great, and your understanding and your commitment and your connection with your piece of jewelry that you might have designed is beautiful, and it is definitely to be valued and celebrated. But if you put yourself in your customer's mind or in your customer's shoes, it's a little confusing. They're not, more than feeling inspired about what you're doing or feeling your passion, they are probably getting confused with too many vague sentences or too much emotion, and it tires them out. So you write those sentences out, but edit it out, edit. Maybe just one powerful word is worth many more of these, impactful words that you might think. Remove them and try and use just one powerful word that in every sentence, just one is enough, or in a paragraph, one is enough to really bring the sentiment out. And here is what I mean. Look at these taglines. So here, hire for writing. If you say this is what I would say. I would say employ clarity in your business communication, or discover the power of yoga and meditation for entrepreneurial success. Or if I'm saying transform yourself and transform your business. And of course, I go on to say things, I go on to explain what I mean. But when I write these lines out and I'm thinking from the customer's perspective, and I'm urging them to look within themselves and find that ability to express themselves, transform yourself and transform your business. So these then become powerful words, and these then become words that connect and engage with your audience and allow them to, or at least compel them to read a little further and want to go further into this, into what are we selling, what are we talking about, and what are we getting at with this. So about us, we must come to your about us page as well. This is a really good opportunity to tell your story. So feel free to be, of course, relatable and authentic, but spend a little time doing what you do. So you are going to be you're going to be telling your real story. You're not making it up. But equally, everybody has some concerns they've been through, some issues they've had, or some challenges they've had reaching where they've reached. And so talk about it. Speak about what you are all about, where you're headed, what makes you you. This, what I mean by Superman and Superwoman mission is, what is it you're trying to do? An overarching mission that you're trying to do. Are you selling, say, fresh farm produce? And so what is it you want to do? You want everyone to eat healthy. You want them to be, the environment to be better looked after. You want to promote sustainable food habits. So whatever it is you want to create, that is your Superwoman mission. You are driven to do that. And so that should come through. And then how did you get here? Like I said, there could be a challenge. All right, reveal it. Don't just write a standard statement. Oh, I couldn't find this and I decided to do this. Of course, and it's commendable that you did it. Not everybody can do it. So spend a little more time about it. Right? Make an effort. Tell about it. What do you offer? What makes it special? and what is the future going to be? Are you going to bring more of this? Are you just give a little brief? The thing is, of course, not to be too verbose again, but it is important to paint your picture directly and to get this whole to get this dialogue going and to give an understanding of what makes you you. I'm just going to click on my website link to take you through the home page and then about us quickly, so you get an idea here. So this I around if as we scroll down my website, this is the part you saw. As we scroll down, I start talking about us here already. And I say I'm a writer and yoga teacher. I say I'm an author and content writer. And then you can click more for about me, or you can click more for hire. I continue to say what I'm talking about. Here are the taglines I spoke about. And then there is testimonials down from people that that really make an impression because they are founders. They are doing exactly what I'm the other target audience. They're using to build trust, and I have check-in. So here is my about me, which also directly goes in from my home page as well. Here you could read about me from here as well. And I speak about being fearless in conquering your struggles and overcoming your struggles and being fearless in approaching expression. And I say and I tell and I'm a little unafraid to share that I've had challenges myself, and what I bring to this about through my challenges, what I bring. I've had a lifetime exploring human potential through diverse challenges. I'm unafraid to tell or to bring to the table what my real challenges have been, and that is what can make readers connect. And I will bring that challenge to you, and then I will say, join me for yoga, pranayam, hire me for writing, and this is what I can bring to you. So let me go back to my to the presentation. Yeah. So talk about your about us and spend some time, make an effort, really make an effort for that. It matters. So here is what Twitter is doing, for example. They're talking about what's happening in the world and of course they talk about their company advocacy, but in their about us, this is what they want. They want to tell you that whatever's happening in the world and people are talking about it, it happens on Twitter. We are important and we are everywhere for you. So this is a nice example. This is what Facebook does. They say we bring in the potential of people when they come together. That's an interesting about us page too. They have lots to talk about. They've devoted a whole section to that. But even just talking about themselves, they're spending an effort. They're making it personalized for you. This is a store which is set up on Shopmatic, and since I know some of you are product merchants, I thought I'll also include some examples of products. And this is a store that is a social venture, and they speak about their social enterprise. They speak about why they start their humble beginnings, as they say. They talk of a snapshot. They talk of what they are supporting: women empowerment, reversing migration. They talk of the various lines that are developed through that. And then they talk about stay connected. They're on Facebook, Twitter, Google Hangouts, Pinterest, and Instagram, and they have all those snapshots here. And this is a beautifully done about us page as well. So if you're on products, on services, just make the effort to bring your story out. People that you are targeting, for them it matters because they want to know that the store they're buying from is actually doing the same things that they believe in. Okay, if they want to eat healthy, are you really, what is your language? So that sort of connects with them. So be unafraid, make an effort, and spend some time writing your story out in about us. This was mine, like I shared a little while ago. And now it truly is an opportunity on every page. So look at every page for what it brings to you. This is like I said, as you walk into a store, a physical store, you can go in and you can sense the people, and if they're friendly, how's customer service, how the racks are organized, you have people come up to you or not, where where goods are lying, and you know what the terms are, you know where the cashier is, you know you can pay by PayU or Nets or Payla or PayPal or interbank, whatever, you know what to do in the stores. But here, when you are online, actually when your customers come in, of course they see beautiful stores, of course they see you organize yourself well, but each page has its own value. So don't skim on that. Don't shortchange yourself. Pay some attention and just look at it like that. For instance, look at your FAQ page as a chance for customer service. Explain your terms, explain what you do and how you can help. And so write that down. Use it and use the language of your brand. If you're a formal brand, if you're a corporate brand, use that. If you want to be friendly, if you use pop language in your brand, use that language. Use that fine throughout your website. Use that tone, but in that tone, in that way of expressing, use that page as a chance for customer service. Use your blog page, for example, as a chance for developing a community. And then your contact, you're collecting email addresses. These are very important for sending newsletters and for continuing to create your customer base, for reaching out to them. So make use of all the opportunities you have on your store, and Shopmatic has all these pages set up. It's pretty easy actually to use blocks and set them up, and make an effort to write good content from the perspective of your customer on what they are gaining from you on each page. Remember the rules that we spoke of. Make it easy to contact you, write about customer benefits, make it easy to navigate, and mm, and that's those are the main rules that you must keep in mind. Now we come to product matters. Very important to organize yourself again. Create product categories on popularity, of course, but also use names that people can relate to. If your names are going to be really out of the ordinary, then have a little explanation there. If that's the name of your range, maybe you can say ranges and then talk about that range, or categories, or just call it something that people know that this is what you're naming. The name can be as outlandish as you would like it to be, or as individual or as characteristic, and that's fine. But what it is should be clear, because if you confuse that and what it is, people are not going to know, people are not going to understand you easily. So pay attention to what you're writing there. And yes, this is an important line, important slide, because these tips, and just on a side, Shopmatic has these blogs, like Uma said, we constantly putting them up. A lot of this information is available on the blogs as well. So if you're stuck, you can go back and refer to them on the Shopmatic website and look for this information. But essentially, look at it again. Do you remember those key points that you had written? Use those as headlines to form even for your products. Have the same approach to your products. Talk about benefits rather than features. Let's say you are getting a bicycle, okay? And let's say you're not really one of those that goes cycling regularly, so you don't really know, the features of the bicycle as well. You don't understand for the drive tails or Shimano or the gear. You don't understand all of that. And say you go into a nice store because you want to buy yourself a good bike, and the sales agent starts to tell you, all right, this one has got 36 gears, and this one's got 24 gears, and this one's got this saddle, and this one's Shimano, and you probably are lost. You probably have no idea what you want, and it's going to be mind numbing. So that's exactly how your customers will feel if you're going to just tell them this one has this luminous and that. You have to explain that, all right, this has 24, say, gears, and so this means you can ride on a flat surface, you can go uphill, you can go downhill easily without too much effort, you can go long distances. And the reason this ergonomic saddle is important is because you can be comfortable and not you can be riding for hours without discomfort. So explain all those terms. Explain that if you have to include technical terms, perhaps you're a technical company and you need to include technical terms, but make sure that along with the benefits, you are certainly along with the features, you're certainly weaving in benefits, because without that understanding, it's going to just be, it's going to go beyond, just going to, go beyond and it's going to tire out customers. It's not about how impressive you are, it's about what this matters and how it relates to them. And of course, include customer reviews to build trust. You can include those on your home page. You can include them in your product pages. It is important to keep telling these stories. Include stories about your product. Include, as far as possible, include your reviews and testimonials. Just all these things build trust. The last point is important. Avoid cluttering with cliche and overused phrases. So that is, yeah.
That's great
That,
advice.
yes, it does become easy to get carried away with, everybody is using the same, and that's what we hear. That's what we want to say. But that's what everybody is selling. But what about you? Just take that clutter out of your mind, find clarity in your own thought, and then write it simply, just from the perspective of your mind. A very good tip for formatting your product descriptions is use bullet points and paragraphs. So use a combination of the two. So use your headers, and maybe sometimes you have just the bullet points for for the important features come and benefits woven in, and maybe a paragraph talking about this will lead you to an easier ride, and the 24 kilometers, or whatever story you want to write. So keep a combination depending on how many. Obviously, kirana stores are not writing too many stories because of the number of products. So you take a call on what works for your website. But remember that the easy way is to have a scanning and skimming through, because nobody spends too much time on websites reading all content. So have impactful headlines, and have scanning and skimming of content formatted in a scanning and skimming fashion, easy to skim through. this is these are my two products. So I'm again coming back to my example. Like I said, I'll share so it's easier to relate. This is Join for Yoga, and so I talk about joining for retreats. I talk about coming and practicing this regularly over Zoom calls, doing group sessions or one-on-one sessions. Or so I have clients who are practicing yoga with me from Europe and Singapore, Malaysia, and so we have an Australia. So they are on different time zones, and the fact that they are able to reach through an online platform, and we do sessions on Zoom, we have one-on-one sessions, and we run through all of that is something that is out there. It's right. It's put up right there. It's made easy to see contacts for us and how it's conducted. It's a little. I mean, the slide is going to be a little small for you to see, but you can always feel free to go to my website and check it. Or even there are lots of examples on the internet that you can look at. The whole idea of doing this, of bringing this out here, is for you to understand that making it accessible and making it easy for people to understand, how what they will get from it, and what they can expect. And it doesn't matter if you have a service which seems on the outside disjointed, like yoga and writing would be. It all comes together with your intent, with the way you can present your copy. And this is the next one, hire for writing. So I'm showing that I have examples here. These are the books I have. These are some samples for you. This is the kind of blogs I can write, or the PR content I can do for you, the website, and how I'm certified, and a few of my wins, and how, so just putting together your page and building trust, as well as building ease of connect, and showing what you can do. It just has to be as simple as that. And anybody who's interested will definitely read through, because not everybody can be your target audience. Not everybody wants this, but if they do want to buy, or they are looking for what you are trying to be known for, they will definitely spend time if you are an engaging, speaking in their language. Here is that little known copyrighted secret. So see, this actually adds power. You write small sentences, of course. Don't make them big. Have a goal. What I mean by goal here is what do you want in that CTA? Remember the call to action buttons we spoke about. Do you want them to sign up for a newsletter? Then you will write your words accordingly. Do you want them to buy from you? Do you want your customers to click further and know more about this? Whatever it is, think about it and write not just the CTA, not just the button, but the content leading to the button also. Write it with that goal in mind. So keep that goal in mind when you're writing every little paragraph on your website. Of course, like we said, formatting. And I'm deliberately skipping this part yet. I'm going to conversational language, testimonials, call to action, because I want to come to this secret in the end, which is now. This little secret is, you know how we say I've said this on the same presentation as well just now, and you've probably heard this millions of times before. You know, when we say what are your customers' problems, and then how does your product address their problems? What do we really mean? And equally, how do you find what are their problems? So this secret is you go online and you go on to places that your customers are going, go on forums, go on Quora, go on Reddit, wherever they are visiting, Facebook groups, sign up for a few of them and see, just to know what are the issues people are facing. If you're selling mattresses, oh, I can never find the right one, irrespective of how many I have, and blah blah blah. The mattresses, I invariably after 2 months they start bending, or if that's a complaint, and you are a person selling mattresses, so you use those words, take that out and say, in 2 months do you hear your mattresses, do they start bending? And here is something we do, or here is a solution. Immediately it starts to resonate. When you use the same words that you're reading online, you're using the same words that the customers are actually using to present their problems, and you are using those to reflect the problem and then provide your solution through your service or your product. It immediately connects. It's like, somebody understands me. So use that. Take your time to go through and understand where to find these words and pick on them. It is important, and it really adds superpower to your writing. It supercharges your website. So these are some testimonials that I showed earlier, and I wanted to bring to light again, because this builds trust within your community, with your supplier. I mean, with your customers. Even if they're potential customers, people use these to connect with your online potential people as well, because people are looking to see what are others saying, those who have experienced this. People are looking to see that. So you must include some testimonials in your website here. If you've heard of keywords and SEOs, and we will take questions afterwards. So don't keywords are basically what you want to be found for. What are your essential keywords that you want to be noticed for? Like in my case, for example, content writing services, yoga and pranayam and yoga, meditation and pranayam for entrepreneurs. These are my keywords. So I want to use them in every way. So, but I don't want too many or too few, because too many is like jumbled and it's just insincere. It's not sincere. And too few, I'll miss the opportunity. So you have to understand what you want to be known for what does your product what is your product talking for, and use those keywords in various parts intelligently and intuitively in your website. Of course, errors, please stay away from them. Have it spell checked, have it edited. If you're fed up of your own copy, have somebody else read it for you. But just make sure that it's proofread before you publish it. You must, of course, use the headings and CTAs. And we've been through all of this again, and I'm just keeping it here so you can understand. This one, they don't have outdated information. It is actually a big one, because very often you come to websites and you find people have not updated contact information, or the stock has gone out and it's not been updated, or new discounts have not been added, new prices have not been added, and those are those sort of keep you in not a make you look a little like your website needs renovation. It's like your store needs a little renovation. So so renovate yourself, and that's it. Okay, I have to give you a little tip. When you are using content, when you have content, sorry, that's my when you have content, uh, you can use everything you have to lead into your social media channels. All you just need to do is add a header and upload consistently. This is the cheat sheet I spoke about. These are words that if you include in your website, you will have you will be more. It's more engaging. You will be more likely to get response or engagement from your clients. So if you want, I think Uma will share these with you later.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah. And thank you for listening, and make your words shine.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jyoti. Wonderful session. And I think there are already some questions lined up for you. So perhaps you would just like to go through the question and answers. We've
Yes, I
already been
have just,
hearing some nice feedback on the chat channel that you can look at later. But there were no questions
yeah.
there, so we'll just go through questions.
Okay, so there's no question in the chat because I
Not on the
haven't
chat
seen
channel.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Um, there's a question. How did you realize you had a flair for writing? And I have to I have to answer that. The question is the answer to that is that you never really know you have a flair. Who is it? I think it's Richard Bach that said every writer is an amateur who never gave up. So literally, that's what you have to do. Or everybody is a writer, that you don't give up and you start expressing better. So just make the effort and continue. That's. I don't think I've realized anything yet, but thank you for that vote. How should we showcase benefits on homepage for a product sale like apparel? Yeah, so apparel is a nice one. You're talking about sensory language. Talk about the comfort. Talk about the style, the visual, whatever it is that you are showcasing. Is your USP that you bring sustainability to the page? So is that what you're trying to, is that the language you're speaking of? When you say apparel, there is a whole range of thought that you should first clarify in your own head before you can start expressing, because this is a huge field. So start understanding what is it that your apparel stands for, what is it that you bring, and when you start that clarity of thought process, you will arrive at your own categories, your own USPs, your keywords that you can use and repeat as your taglines, as your headers and benefits. You know best what you're trying to sell, because the word apparels is so broad, and that is probably one way to get lost in that big space. It's like jewelry is lost, is big. But now start tuning it down. Think through, arrive, fine tune, hone it, and come down to what is your apparel, what do you bring there, what are you bringing to the customer. Write that down and then edit it out, and you will arrive. Showcase, of course, showcase with pictures as well, apparels, and with your content. Lovely site. Not everybody can write well. What are the most important things we need? Thank you very much for that. What are the most important things we need to keep in mind when writing our product details, homepage details? Definitely writing about benefits that you bring, whether it's your business or your product. How, like in the example of bicycles, whether the 24 gears you sell, whether that helps you in cycling long distance, and whatever is the benefits your features bring it out onto your product details and weave them in. Include the whole storytelling, of course. Imagine walking down these beautiful, hills, or cycling down with ease, beautiful hills with on a comfortable saddle, and with gears that are reliable, and that even the muddy weather or rain doesn't damage those. So keep all that in mind. And when you're writing out product details, write the features, definitely, but weave in a little bit about what those features do for you. What is the importance of those features for the customer? What will it do for you? I have these 24, but they'll help you write better. It's just those little details that make it more meaningful for the customer. Do you recommend visiting competitors' pages to get messages across, or better focus and believe in your own product and its marketing? That's an interesting one. I would keep your mind open. Of course, there's nobody here who truly would say that they don't visit other websites. We all do, and that's even when when researching archival material for our books, for my books. I find myself going from one website to the other till it's 3 a.m. and I'm just all over the place. So be by all means you must research. Feel free to research, but keep your essence in mind. And for that, you have to again come back to clarity of thought. This is what I mean by no business conference can actually give you the clarity that you yourself can. So spend some time, talk about what are you bringing to the table, write that down, that becomes your holy grail, and then start to weave in for yourself. Start becoming comfortable with what you bring. You started this for a reason, and you want to bring something out for a reason. Stay true to that reason. And of course, it takes time for your own messaging to become tuned in, but it will come. What rule would you use for non-English sites? What rule would you use for? I didn't understand this. Rules are the same for for vernacular sites as well. The basic rules will still always apply. If this is what you mean, then I would say the basic rules will still apply. The rules are always going to be focus on customer benefits and focus on making your site navigation very simple and easy. And Shopmatic has got these local, I mean, you can see currencies in there in the, isn't it, Uma? You can have, you can see the
Yeah,
currency in the local,
correct. We have a multi-currency feature which allows
yeah,
you to make it
yeah,
visible in the local currency
yeah.
visitor.
So Rahini asked where to write the keywords for better Google search. So if you understand what you want to be found for, what you want to be um, found for is the best way to do it. Then you include your, if you're using a Shopmatic website, they do have a small feature where you can include your meta tags which help out with SEO. It's already included in the website as well, and you explore it. You can use support to, they can help you out with that. But to include it in your copy as such, I would say the is finding the balance between too many keywords and too few keywords, but you must include your keywords in your copy throughout. Use it in your headings for sure. The most important place is to use it in your headings and your taglines. Use it there because they will come up. Use it in your meta tags. Use your keywords in your you pass them, you sort of sprinkle them in your content, in your paragraphs as well. And when you link up, when you call your pages out, use it there as well. That will be the best way to start. If you have blogs, if you put up blogs, link your blogs back into your own website, into your own blogs. And backlinking helps a lot. We will come to another webinar. Uma, you can probably,
Yeah,
about blogs, aren't we? Yeah.
right. So yeah, we will be doing another webinar in a month or two, again with Jyoti. So we can probably sort of like tackle that particular topic in October. Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't read the chat comments, but I understand they are. Thank you very much for those comments, and I'm really thank you for these questions as well. Because the more you're engaged, the more you understand, and it's always going to be work in progress. And just remember, the more you do this, the journey it looks different. You just step in a few months from now, and you look at yourself, and you're only better all the time.
Thank you so much, Jyoti. It was a wonderful session. I think that our viewers also had a lot of questions, and Rahini here has a request from all of us to check out her website. It is www.tarasparklinghomes.com. Yes, Rahini, we'd love to do that. So once again, thank you so much, Jyoti. I think there were questions across the board with respect to how to write better content, how to sort of like be differentiated, what keywords. I think you really did touch upon a lot of very valuable insights that our, merchants are facing on a regular basis and want to sort of like continue improving on their website. So this will be available for all of our viewers as well as everyone's registered on YouTube for viewing again, so that you can continue to gain the insights that Jyoti has actually shared with us. There is a small request. We will be running a quick poll right now for the people who are in the webinar still, to let us know what are the future topics that you would like Shopmatic to run in the upcoming months on webinars. We will be bringing back Jyoti in a month or two with more content, valuable content like this on how to write better content and more compelling, probably do something on blogs, etc. The poll is on right now. Really request everyone to quickly give us some answers, because it will help us to bring in the right expert speakers for you. So Jyoti, any last parting words from you before we close the session? We have only about a few minutes left.
I was just good. No, I'm glad that I was able to bring some value to the merchants. But I just wanted to say that I had a little bit of technical issues with the slides in the beginning, so apologies for that. And I hope this has been a valuable session, and I've been able to bring some value there. And if you want to reach out, feel free. The websites. I have got a link to my website here, and Shopmatic is a great platform anyway for you to explore putting your own content out together. So good luck and shine.
Thank you so much. All right. Okay.